So I'm going to do a quick reading on the card pull that I had this morning. So I was asking, what are the what's the collective facing? And we had the Five of Pentacles, which that's you kind of sitting there and you're looking at what the universe is giving you, feeling a sense of longing and wanting more. Look how hopeful she is. Oh, I just really wish I had that person or that thing or that job or that money. And feeling, like we're wanting more, we're wishing for more. So I asked what are the blockages to us receiving that? And the cards that came up were, the first was the Ace of Pentacles. So I felt like, that's the universe is kind of sitting there. Hey, well, I've got what you want. I'm just waiting for you to be ready for it. The Two of Swords, is us kind of sitting there with our blindfolds on and, we've got to make a choice. We've got our swords out. No, gosh, this is a tough decision. We don't know what to do. And those obstacles are, the Nine of Wands showing up as the Nine of Wands. She feels like she's walking in this forest and she's all alone and, it's all smoky and dark and, she feels bound. But if you look, those are just some really loose bindings on her arms. I feel like, obviously she's the only one that placed them there. So our thoughts, our mindset, that's the only thing that's really holding us back. Felt like the Five of Swords, the Five of Wands showing up was, some internal fighting and sabotage. If you look at that, she's not really fighting with anyone else. That almost looks like a twin of herself. And, she's cut her own head off. She's fighting with herself. So, again, that's, a mindset shift that we need to go through. Quit fighting with yourself, quit sabotaging yourself, negative self-talk, doubts, fear, all of that. And the Seven of Wands is, like this guardedness. We wear this mask of what we want to present to the world, and underneath, it's very vulnerable to be your authentic self, to show your true self. It's like you're dipping a toe out, but you're really guarded. You've got that little gate in front of you where you're not ready to really show everyone what's underneath of that mask. So what it requires of us is the Death card, so a death and a rebirth. Going within, maybe some seclusion, some isolation, and working on releasing that negative self-talk. You can do that with affirmations, self-love, self-care, maybe some shadow work, and then we move through to the Ten of Swords reversed. So moving past some really painful chapters of our past and releasing those. And then the Ace of Cups showing up, and that really looks like that cup of love is coming from the universe, but it's her shadow self and her higher self, they're all there with her. So it's and there's a bird there, I just noticed that. So maybe some messengers are going to be giving you some love also from the spirit world, from the divine, to help you work on shifting that mindset into a higher frequency of self-love. And then we reach the result, the Six of Wands. Look at that. It's some victory. Now what I did find interesting about this, there's a couple of people that might not be so happy when you shift your energy and shift your frequency, and you're enjoying all the fruits, the harvest of your hard work, your hard inner work. But don't worry about that. Let them watch. Be the example. Do that work. Do that self-love work, and move forth into a chapter of victory in your life. So that's what we have today. Have a great day. Thanks, everybody.